Living every day in your head for free. You can tap away, but I will not hear you scream. You can break your keys, spread your toxicity, your world outside reality. In your room, a little hideaway, but you let it through. Enough to go insane. Living in the dark hasn't treated you well. You're building your own prison cell. Hey, wait, don't waste it on me. Spite, lies telling you, don't waste it on me. Did I brush you off? Is it your lack of friends? We never met, even if you pretend. Am I in your debt? I don't owe you nothing. Don't say something you'll regret. Hey, wait, don't waste it on me. Spite, lies telling you, don't waste it train all alone at dawn, back into the home where I was born. Sun in the sky never raised the night to me. The blood on the tracks and they must be mine.
Look at Mappin going three wide going into school.
And Baku got it. Oh, what a move! What a move! In the history books. He is, without a doubt, the man of F1XL, but now he's a three-time F1XL champion. He's brilliant.
What you believe, so open up your fist, no you won't receive the thoughts and the words of every man you'll need.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Xtra Show. It's a bit of a weird one this week. Mr. Tazo and I have only just joined the same party at the same time, so we are unprepared, probably is the best way to describe this one. But we are here, we're ready, we're on time, and we are here to talk about the Baku Grand Prix. Now, Mr. Tazo, are you there? From the silence, I'm going to say no. So let's, I guess, just talk through it all. Obviously, there is no F5 this week. For those of you who don't know, please head over to the website for the update. I'm sure that it did come out on the site itself, but there was a normal Codemasters bug, which, you know, we all love those when they come through. Now, just as a reminder to everybody, please, if you do have to restart in qualifying, then into the race, then make sure you choose the same tyres you were going to start on, just to clear that up a little bit there. Now, while we wait for Mr. Tazo, I'm trying to remember where is. I mean, Ryan was really late getting these over. Or Madman was late for getting these over. Now I'm going to try and get the first person in for F4, but you never know, he might spin in the pit lane and somehow miss the party invite, so we're never 100% sure, but hopefully he will join nonetheless anyway, and hopefully Mr. Tazo will be here with us soon enough as well. It's always a little bit weird hosting a show with someone and they're not there straight away, but I'm assuming he's on his way, or he's got mic problems, one of the two. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and actually I've got his mic working this time. Mr. Taz, are you there? Hello? Greeners, are you there? Can either of you hear me, or is it just my side that's messed up?
I can hear you.
Cool, Greeners. That's a good start. That's a very good start. Now, Greeners, I guess we're just going to go straight into this and smash through it like we would usually do. But going into Baku, how were you feeling?
Oh, excuse me. That's not a good start.
No. Just dying on stream. Why not?
Oh, Jesus. Ladies, gentlemen, hello.
Oh,
Sorry, I have had so many technical issues tonight, but it sounds like not as many as Gareth. What the hell is that mic?
What, Mike?
Oh, thanks, Gunnar.
Oh, what's going on?
Oh man, I forgot that it was you that was here tonight. I just forgot.
Rude.
I really should have just pretended that I couldn't come on tonight. Oh dear. Apparently Greeners is quiet. Anyway, evening everyone. evening greeners. Are you ready for how do I put this? Bottle gate.
You do know I'm just waiting for a bottle to appear on the stream.
Yeah, I should send that to Gareth just so we've got that as a backup. Yeah. Oh man, right. Well, that was
Should I
an
go on with
interesting
what
race
Gareth
on Sunday, wasn't it?
I mean, very entertaining for the eye. I think it had it all, didn't it? Crashes, safety cars, drive-throughs, more crashes, third.
Yeah, I mean that sums it up. So thanks for coming on, Greeners. We'll speak to you next. Let's go into a bit of detail, right? So qualifying first. What were you thinking going through qualifying?
So, quali started off well. I was only ever going to do 2 runs, just because if there was safety cars and I did want to do a late pit stop, I would have a fresh set of softs just to get me to the end of the race, and I'd be rather quick. So my plan was to only ever do the 2 runs, which I did. But my first one was fine. Put it P3 with a solid lap. I mean, I've done quicker. I've done worse, but I've definitely done quicker than that. But on my last run, I hit the wall coming into the castle section, so that put my run. And I still stayed third, so I can't be disappointed with that.
Yeah, I remember sort of watching your lap, thinking, "No, he's going to be close," and then it ended up just being like I think it was was it not a couple of hundredths off of P2 or something like that? It wasn't much.
Yeah, I mean, it was all close, to be honest. I think Frosted was only less than a tenth behind Az, so it was all close in quality, to be fair.
Yeah, and I mean for a spectator point of view, I tell you one thing, it was an entertaining qualifying session with how close it was, and it kind of set up for what looked like was going to be an interesting race, but it never quite came out that way, did it?
It was a bit weird from the start. Az and Frosted both disconnected from the session before the actual race, so that kind of mucked the start sort of up. But got off the line well and jumped Frosted straight away due to him not actually being there, which was very handy. And then I was stuck with Slow Dog throughout the whole of the first stint. We had a safety car lap 4, which me and Slow Dog literally cut the whole track to get the pit lane because we were just about to miss it otherwise. So that was perfect timing. And yeah, it kind of then unravelled. We kind of all... It was the 2 Renaults, wasn't it, that had started on the alternate strategy. And they boxed me in for quite a few laps. So it took a while, and in that point, it allowed Az to get away from everyone. I could see the bloody bottle.
Don't know what you want about.
God's sake.
There's no bottle there at all.
It's wrong because I bottled it twice. But anyway.
I think we missed a trick with it, to be honest, because it should really be like tinted green.
Has his editing skills. Anyway, Az then gave the whole field a gift after in our second safety car. After being 10 seconds in front of everyone, he spun under the pit lane, under the safety car, which literally made the race wide open. I was comfortably in front, pulling away from everyone, but I still had an extra stop to do. I'd gone onto the mediums. And then I pitted lap 19, I want to say, roughly that area. Onto the softs again. Luckily, I didn't do the extra run.
It was either 19 or 20, but yeah.
Yeah. But onto the softs to have a last lap showdown with Frosted, because Frosted had stayed out on medium throughout the start and wasn't pitting again. So I knew he wasn't pitting.
Oh no! At the time, as you said to me on the post show, you were surprised that Frosted didn't pit again.
Oh yeah, I was when he told me he wasn't pitting again. So it was like I was I was about 6-7 seconds in ahead of Frosted, and he said, "Coming after you now," and I was like, "Well, you've got to pit again." He was like, "No, I don't." I was like, "Oh, okay, great." So yeah, so it was a catching job, and I was catching him. I was doing 2 seconds a lap nearly, and then we had a VSC about 5 laps from the end. And I've looked back over my stream, and I was above below the delta time by 0.069 of a second.
So just to make sure you were below, yeah. So you were underneath still, yeah. Regardless of how much it was by.
Wait, no. Which one is it? Is it above or below? I can't remember.
Well, it went red by 0.69.
I got a penalty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a drive through either way.
So that was bottle number one.
Yeah. Then Frosted put it into limp home mode, literally just to get home on those tyres, and I was catching him even faster. And actually, it actually helped me because I was expecting to come out in 5th, maybe 4th if I was lucky. But I didn't actually realise how short the pit lane was in Baku, and I only came out a second behind second, going into the last lap. Had it all on Rich and everything. Here we go, and the ERS out of the last corner, and the last kink in the straight that's not a straight. I lit up the rear tyres and I just went round, hitting the wall, so losing a bit from my front wing, but luckily I was far enough in front of the others to bring it home in 3rd.
Where's bottle number 2 appears on my screen?
Bottle number 2. Still you put that on the stream.
Oh, you're damn right. I mean, we can get other ones as well if you want. I can get one of you as
that's enough.
Yeah,
That's enough.
a pair of tits, but that's a whole different conversation.
And Forrest Gump for some reason.
Yeah, because why not? To be fair, there are some conversations which the F4 guys do have with you where you do remind us of Forrest Gump, so that probably explains why. Gareth, I'm going to let you ask some questions here because I've already spoken to him at least once about all this.
Fair enough. I'm guessing. I guess I'll go to my original question, which never got answered. I think because Taz finally got everything sorted, and
it's still Greener's fault. You should have answered it first.
You interrupted.
Well, I'm sorry. You should have. I'm sorry, but
Gareth
Gareth asked me a question, so I'm going to answer that first. Then we can come back to you.
Okay.
So before all this, how were you feeling coming into Baku? Obviously, with Abu Dhabi over and done with, were you confident, or was it,
You know what? I actually was. I do like the track, Baku. I've always been a fan of the street circuits. I don't know why, because I normally crash out, but I do really like them. I got pole here last season. Came second to Goals' brilliant strategy, but yeah, I was feeling confident, and I did have the pace.
it does mean that you've taken over the championship lead for the time being.
Yes.
But it's only by 4 points, and then 8.2 as down in third. Looking quite close. I mean, Frosted in the Ferrari, do you think he's going to be a big rival this season? Or where do you think you're going to finish as well?
Definitely. I think Frosted will be, it will be me and Frosted, I feel. It'll be interesting to see if the new boys can get up to speed. George looks very quick, even though I don't want to admit it to him in case he's listening. But he needs to sort out his consistency, and he would be up there with us. So it'd be interesting how we go. I believe Az has been promoted after he had very strong pace last week. Like I said, he pulled 10 seconds out on everyone within 6 laps.
Yeah, but it's 5-6 laps.
So so he's got some pace on him, that boy.
That's why I didn't ask about. I said that's why I just concentrated on Frosted being a main rival. But do you think anyone else? Do you think maybe Crazy Dave will come good back like he was at the start of last season, or is Slow Dog?
He definitely has this
there as well.
Slow Dog's really improved, I have to say. I believe he's changed his traction or something, but it's really put him in the fight. which will make Ferrari a huge rival for the title. I've been very lucky this year. I've got Nick as my teammate, and the one thing I think we've got in the bag is our constructors in F4. But Ferrari are going to push us hard. For the overall title, I think you are looking at me, Frosted, possibly Slow Dog. I mean, Mr. Consistent. I think it's what do you call him? Like Mr. Number 7?
Yes, because he had so many P7s last season.
But yeah, I think it'll be very interesting. I don't know about Dave. He's sort of gone off a bit, and I don't mean it in a bad way. It's like he had a great race this week, but it was a track that you could qualify last and you could still win it. So he played a blinder with the strategy, starting on the media, the hards even. So it'd be interesting to see how he does. He's definitely got pace. It's just whether he can bring it out, if that makes sense.
No, I'll back you up on that one. I think you're completely right what you're saying about Dave. I feel like that compared to last season, he doesn't seem quite as threatening. But it might be just because it's the early races, you know. I think he got his first win last season at Russia, and that's obviously not this weekend, but next weekend. So you might end up seeing a completely different beast that race. But I don't see the same. I don't know, maybe if others have just sort of caught up with him, or if it's just he's maybe just lacking something. But it's not the same Dave that sort of turned up at the start of last season and really, you know, made his authority known early.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Sorry, Gareth, I want to make a point there.
That's all right. No, you're the commentator for F4, so if you need to add stuff into there, that's perfectly fine. I guess the last question really for me is 2 races in with a new team owner. How are you finding it?
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I mean, Taz can back us up on this. Our group chat is brilliant between the guys. Great bunch of lads. I'm learning a lot from Sloppy. He's being so helpful with everyone, and we're all trying to help each other. I mean, I've been talking to our F3 Haas like killers this evening, trying to help him on strategy for next week. So we're all pitching in, and it's brilliant. Completely different to last season. No offense.
Okay.
To goals.
So I think we move forward, and France this weekend. I mean, well, how do I put this politely? You haven't shut up at the fact that you actually finally won a race at France last season.
Did I?
So, are you
Almost
repeating
forgot.
it this weekend, or do you think that it's going to be a lot tougher with a new grid?
Although we do have a new grid, I still think my main rival is Frosted in this, and I was at the end of it, I was 8 seconds in front of him. So I'm still backing myself pretty much because of I do like this track, and I have been going quick around it. I played the strategy right last season, so let's hope we do the same for this weekend.
Okay. Gareth, do you want to ask him anything else before you turn around and say who you're predicting for this weekend?
I'm jinxing them.
Scrubs. Got no further questions.
I'll give you that. Sorry.
Yeah, I like that shout. I don't know if Scrubs is ready to win a race yet, but he's definitely ready for a podium. I think he's definitely, you know, Greeners has obviously mentioned the fact of Frosted's the one he's looking at in Slow Dog, but Scrubs has managed from his first 2 races a P5 and a P4 without really setting the world alight at all. So he'll definitely be one to keep an eye on. I am going to go for where are we? We're at France. I'm going to back Frosted this weekend. I just want to make a point, by the way. So last week for F4, I predicted Greeners to win. If Greeners hadn't bottled it twice, I would have had that right.
So can Frosted bottle it this week now that you've done him over?
Oh no, I'm more annoyed at you the fact that, do you know what? The fact that if you had not bottled it, out of my last week's predictions, I would have had 3 out of 5 right.
You're welcome, Gareth. You wouldn't have heard that for the rest of. You would have heard that all night tonight.
Such a dick. Anyway, if that's it from Gareth, then off you fuck. I mean, thanks for coming on, Greeners. And,
Wait, what's
I'm sure we'll
Greener's
speak to you again
prediction?
soon. He predicted himself.
I'm
hasn't
backing
he?
myself.
Oh, you're backing
backing
yourself.
myself for
Okay.
this. I can't pick anyone else. Start the season.
You can't pick anyone else
And
because
hit
his
it off
head's
the
so
bang.
fucking big. Right, good luck for this weekend.
Brilliant.
And we will probably speak to you at some point soon.
Yeah, brilliant. Cheers, boys. Have a good one.
See
You as
ya,
well.
Greeners.
See you later. I think we can finally have our pre-show preamble now, can't we? In fact, I've got things working.
Yeah, what happened there then? What, is it just...
It was the audio, like the cable that you put into the headset thing. I can't think of the fucking word because my head's absolutely mush right now. It was not picking up sound at all. So then I tried to do it with Bluetooth. Everything sounded really buzzy, and then it just completely cut off. It just started making a loud, high-pitched buzz. So I was like,
Nice.
I'm going to try to fix it. So managed to get it fixed, and I'm here now. So hello.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Did you do an explanation about F5 as well? Or?
Yeah, I've done the explanation. I've done F5. Told people to, that if you qualify on a set of tyres and then the race gets rerun, that you have to be on those tyres if you're in the top 10. It just makes sense.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? We as much as people were annoyed at it, and people are still sort of moaning about it now, we had to make the decision that's right for fairness. The only other option that we could make is those who didn't start on those tyres would be disqualified, but we're aware that apparently there was a glitch of some sort in the lobby, so we're given benefit of the doubt more than anything. One thing I will say though, Gareth, seeing as that was a non-finished race last week, we need to make new predictions for this week on who's going to win. Why not?
Why? Why the hell not? Why the hell not? What, wait, France? Have you got who I put down last week, is there?
Yeah. So last week you had.
Oh, I had Arnie, didn't I?
Arnie, yes.
Yeah.
I can tell you got 1 out of. Technically 1 out of 4 because I'm not including F5 for last week.
I'm trying to think. It's a bit more open, France, isn't it? It's a.
Yeah.
I can't really. The thing is, Abu Dhabi, I don't count as a proper track, so I don't take that kind of information and the stats into detail, just because I don't like the track. And there's a lot of rookies in that league, but I tell you what, we haven't. Yeah, I'm going to go with Joshua 22.
You're taking my pick from last week.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know what? I think it's a smart pick. He seems to be one of the guys who's right up there. Who am I thinking? Right, is that here? For F5, you know what? I'm gonna go for Jiwi. I remember racing against him last season at Austria, and I think it was Austria. There was another track race against him. He was really quick. In terms of he was able to keep up with the sort of top end F4 guys at times on that track. And then he made a mistake. And there was another race where he sort of fought decent middle pack before he made a mistake as well. So I think if he can keep it on the track and keep it clean, then he's the man to beat.
Fair enough. Shall we head towards the F3 sides of things? I'm now a bit confused. Where we have, I believe, a team owner coming in to say hello.
Doing? Yes.
So it'll be interesting to say the least. And it has just
Is
been...
it underground, overground, Wumble and free?
Oh, God. I'm just going to continue with what I was going to go and say.
Right. Didn't even continue the reference.
No, not this time. I know in the team owner chat, we both said the same thing at the same time in response to Ryan. But Yeah. Obviously F3, there's some big news coming out of F3 this week. Taz, I'll let you explain in a moment. But more on last season, season 16. So it has been found out that both Pingers and I thought we were doing each other's job, so the job didn't get done. So prizes will come out for the...
you a couple of absolute muppets. I'm sorry. I just didn't even realise that was happening.
Well, he thought, because I came up with the idea, he thought I was going to do it all. But I've never dealt with the PayPal side of stuff, so I was just like, oh, Pingers has done it every season that we've done prizes or trophies, so I'll just pass it to him. It will come out. I am terribly sorry to the winners. So Binary, Matt, Chips and Davey, and oh god, I can picture who was the F3 champion. I just can't think. He's now an F2. He's a quick driver. Ash Rainbow. I'm thank you. You guys will be getting everything sorted soon. I promise. Yeah. Right. Move on. Where is said? He's
Wobble.
He's not
He's
online
online.
for me.
He's online. I've invited him to the party already.
I was going to say he's not online for me, and he's on my friends list. So,
There he is.
and it's about time.
Underground, overground, wobbling free.
It's my life.
Yeah. Well, he's a Wimbledon fan. The Wombles.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you for remembering that.
Yeah, you're welcome. You know, got to look after the South London clubs, don't I?
Well, you support Palace, so
Exactly.
I feel a bit sorry for you.
Why? Because we're a Premier League team. Yeah, feel sorry for us.
I don't much like Palace anyway.
Oh, fine. Fuck you. Get out. We don't want to speak to you now.
It's recent history with the Wimbledon. That's all.
Hey, we were nicer to you than some clubs were. That's all I'm saying.
I hate the franchise more than you. That's all I'll say.
Anyway, right. I suppose we better talk things F3 then, yeah?
Yeah.
Right. Talk us through qualifying first of all, because I haven't really seen too much about qualifying, to be fair.
Mine was a bit up and down. So I went up for my first lap and I was doing 3 laps from the very start. So I used all 3 sets of stuffs. Went out, done my first lap, decent time, and I was quite happy with it. And I came back in and I waited a little bit to go again through clear track. And as I went out again, I was on a storming lap. Turn 3 was perfect, which I've been struggling with all week. Got turn 3 absolutely perfect. Got to the castle section, and I got the power down a bit too early, lost the back end, and went way too deep on exit, and that was that lap done. And then my third lap was the same. Turn 3 was absolutely perfect, and then went a bit too deep into turn 4, got the power down too early and hit the wall on the outside, which ended me in 19th for qualifying, which wasn't exactly ideal on a track where I know I could do so much better at.
The sort of disappointing for you is just start anyway. Starting in P19 though, it's not necessarily a bad thing with a track like this. Were you sort of looking at it thinking there's points to gain and overtakes to be made, or were you just sort of thinking I'll just play the long game and see what happens?
I was sort of licking my lips when I saw 19th because, I mean, the only issue I had was lap 1, turn 1, 2, and to an extent 3. But I was licking my lips for the rest of the race because I know that I'm good enough at the track to make overtakes, which I did. I made quite a few nice overtakes around there. I had a little bit of an issue with one of the Red Bulls. I went a bit too deep into turn 1 at one point when he got past me, but I was still happy with the way I raced the whole time, and I defended very well the last 2 laps after the safety car to secure that 8th place, and I was very happy with it to come 19th to 8th in after a very poor qualifying. It's just 8th place is very, very rewarding. It feels like a podium, that result does.
Yeah, especially in such a tough grid at the moment. You know, there's a lot of quick guys this season. Were you surprised that you were able to jump up that high, or were you expecting just sort of maybe finish out at the points in the end?
I was quite surprised because sort of going into the race in 19th, I know how strong the field is, and I was starting on the hards as well, so I was going very long into the race. I did think a lot of people that were on softs going hards, they would have been able to maybe jump me as my hards went off, but I was very lucky in the sense that the safety car came out that from going hards to softs, I was able to have fresh softs for the safety car period. Most other people did as well, but I was very fortunate that it didn't hamper me too much with going along onto hards and then going softs again. I think without that safety car, I think I was 15th, possibly 14th with an extra pit stop to come. So the safety car definitely bailed me out and helped me to go where I did.
It was partly strategy that sort of helped you get a lot of places in, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you have many incidents at all in the race, or was it literally just a sort of drive along and seeing what happens kind of race then?
It was sort of just avoiding other incidents really. As I mentioned, turn 1 and 2 on that one were absolute carnage. They were very slow into turn 1 and into turn 2. I think that's again where my strategy came into play. Because I was questioning starting on the softs and then going onto hards as I did in Abu Dhabi. I went softs and I gained 9 places on that one from 19th again. And I questioned doing that again this week. But I thought I'll go hards. I won't try and jump people to get past people. It's such a tight track where there's no runoff if you go a bit too deep or you lose the back end or something. So I'll go hards. I kept it clean and tidy in turn 1, 2 and 3. Just tried to sort of back off, and turn 2 there were a few incidents so I had to avoid and get around. Fred Wilson right ahead of me at one point crashed into the castle section. I just had to slow down, avoid him and go through his ghosted car. And then I had a little incident on the second last lap where I tapped Beastie in the rear end, but fortunately enough for me I was able to use Rich and Urs down the last straight and just beat Storm to 8th place by 0.038 of a second in the end.
And just touching on that as well, obviously with Beastie being your old team winner, was it nice to get one over on him?
He actually ended up finishing ahead of me, unfortunately.
Oh damn!
Which was annoying. If I didn't tap him in the rear end, I could have stayed with him through the corners and possibly pipped him. And I think as well he came out 3 seconds ahead of me, and in my pit stop onto the soft, it changed my front wing when I had absolutely no damage on it. So if that didn't happen, I would have been out ahead of him, and I could have stayed ahead of him. But unfortunately, he managed to beat me that one.
Oh, that's a bit of a shame. So did Beastie finish? Where did Beastie finish in the end? What position?
I believe he finished in 6th or 7th, I think.
Okay, gonna have to get the standings checked because the standings say something completely different. I don't know if maybe penalties have had an impact of some sort, but
Yeah, I'm not sure where he finished.
Okay. Anyway, we move on to France this weekend. What's your thinking behind France?
I like there's bits of the track that I like, and there's bits of the track that I would burn in hell. The last right-hander before the long straight, the long back straight, I just hate it because I can never seem to get entrance or exit of that right, and I always lose time. And the exit turn 2, I hate because no matter how far out I run, whether I gain or lose time, I'm getting a warning. So it's a sort of give and take thing for me in that. But yeah, I just gotta push. I feel confident. I feel like I'm good around the track. So I'm just trying to stay with the people ahead and get that DRS slipstream. Manage the ERS a lot around this track and use it where you need and just get past the cars one by one as they come, really.
Yeah. And just obviously touching on the sort of the race, like last season I noticed that you finished in where am I looking? P8? Do you think that you can improve on that? Do you think you can get a higher result this time round?
I think it all depends on the qualifying. Abu Dhabi had a poor qualifying, is not my best track. Azerbaijan, I know there was at least 4, 5, 6 tenths in my time, which would have given me a good few positions. And this track is one of those that, as long as I can get the qualifying lap right, I know that I can get quite high up the grid, have a good strategy, and just push on and try and finish high up in the points. I mean, I don't think I'll be looking at above 5th if I qualify at the top 10, but if I qualify in the top 10, possibly could be getting around 5th, and safety cars, if there is one, have a lot to say in this.
Definitely. Right, time to bring in the big gun. Right, Gareth. I know you've been sitting there eagerly waiting to ask questions, so on you go.
How have you? I'm just going to go straight in there, Milo. Sorry. How have you found? Obviously, 2 races in the competition in F3 this season.
I'll compare it to what it was last season. Going into last season, I found a lot of pace in myself in the first few races, and I was really able to. I mean, obviously, I DNF'd in Azerbaijan, but I was sitting in 2nd place. I was pulling away from 3rd for a lot of it. So I found a lot of pace in the first couple of races of the season. And coming into this season, I thought, it might be the same. I'll find my pace. I knew there was a few quick guys. Obviously, Forensic, my teammate, I know that he was a lot quicker than me 2 seasons ago. So I was thinking he's going to be a lot quicker, and I knew there was a few quick guys. But, it's been very, very tough. I've had 2 19 place qualifyings. I've had an 8th place, probably down to the safety car, if we're being honest. And I've had one, I think, in Abu Dhabi, I had a 15th or a 14th place or something. So it wasn't great. So it has been very difficult this season. The quality of racing in F3 has definitely gone up. I mean, Bonta and Norris, who I was fighting with mainly, have sort of kept their pace where it was. I feel like we all expect the Beast to be a bit higher up, and he's dropped off a little bit. He's not fighting high up, but that just shows testament to how quick a lot of the F3 guys are this season.
Yeah, it's looking really good from a battling perspective, and you've got Big Will. You've got commentators this year, which wasn't a thing last season. Have you managed to rewatch any of it yet? I mean,
I had a quick rewatch of Azerbaijan, sort of just have it on the background, just looking at it here and there when I'm doing a little bit of practice for France. But it's sort of, if I have a really good race or battling a lot of cars, that's one of the times where I'll go on and I'll look at the race and watch it back and try and see if any battles are on there to see how I done from a third person point of view. See if it was bad or if it was good, what I can change and how I can do better to get past the car in the future.
fair enough. And I guess lastly, before we do predictions, it's your first season as a team owner. How are you feeling 2 races in?
I'm feeling confident. I mean, the 2 tracks, Abu Dhabi, I don't much like it, and I think there's a few of the guys in the team who obviously didn't like it much. Azerbaijan is one of those tracks, street circuit, very tight, mistakes happen. But we did get some good results. I mean, F5 rerun, Dom got 4th in it, which is a bit unfortunate, but I think, it's a lot of confidence for Dom and Scotsman from F5 to take forwards into France. I think Mark's on for a bit of redemption after his 8th place. I know I'm looking to build on my 8th place because I know for me it was a good result, and Narwhal had a very good race in F3. And the F2 guys, I think they're looking to really bounce back after the first 2 races, not having a great couple of results. So I think everyone in the team's got something to prove or something to build on from last week. So I think it's all gonna kick off for the racing point team in the next few races, I think.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Mr. Tazo, have you got a prediction for France F3?
Well, it's suddenly become a lot harder because something that you sort of mentioned before. Decision has been made to make some early moves in the leagues. So the guys who finished P1 and P2 in back-to-back race 1 and 2, Jimmy AFC 21 and Joe 79, have both been moved up to F2. And they have been replaced by Az, who's moved up from F4, and Warby, who's moved down from F2. So, my prediction for this weekend is going to be a complete and utter guess. You know what? I'm going to take a bold risk here. Chips and Davy, first win in F3.
Fair enough. And yourself, my life, who do you think's going to take it?
Again, yeah, as I said, it's a hard one too. If you asked me before the Red Bulls got moved, I'm saying either Jimmy or Joe. Or back-to-back 1-2. It's a tough one. But I'm actually going to say Bonner's going to win. Bonta. I think he's got enough about him. He's a good driver. I think he's going to bring it home.
Ooh, Bonta friend.
I'm just looking at it, and it is difficult. I mean, if RT Killers is getting help from Greeners, he might spin in the pit lane. So I can't back him. All joking aside, actually, I will back. Has seemed like they've got something quite strong knit at the moment from what I've been hearing. Seems like the camaraderie between the team is really high. So I think maybe RT Killers could surprise a few people this week. Okay,
that's fair. Yeah. I can also tell you, by the way, that this was the league that you predicted right last week.
Did I say Jimmy? Did I?
Yeah.
I mean,
Although,
it's hard to predict the Red Bulls winning, but
just to put it on the front foot for me, I then got F1 and F2 right, so suck it. There we go. Anyway, right, my life. Thank you very much for coming on, and
thank you very much.
we shall hopefully speak to you again soon.
Yeah, thank you. Just want to say, F1 Xtra Norris is a Liverpool fan and is his best mate.
Brilliant. Oh, dearie me. I'd apologise, but I'm not going to apologise. I'm sorry, Norris. I'd apologise for not apologising, but not apologising for yeah, that's going to get confusing.
You've lost it there, haven't you? You've lost it.
Oh no, I'm completely sane. I promise.
Yes, of course you are.
Now let's thank you. Actually, before you do disappear, my life, have you got any final? Other than that, have you got any proper? Well, no. Have you got any final words other than that?
Racing point best team, F3 best league.
Fair enough. I knew something like that would end up coming along and happening anyway. So thank you very much for coming on the show, and hopefully we'll speak to you again soon. But good luck for Sunday's race.
And you. Cheers.
I'm not sure why he's wishing me luck for the race on Sunday. I'm not racing, but
yeah,
he's wishing you a good commentary. That's what it is.
Yes, good commentary. I'm gonna go now.
Yes,
See you later,
please leave.
See you later,
You're already
guys.
confused enough as it is.
Okay, fantastic.
Have a good evening.
We're
See ya.
going to announce the winner of the picture draw comp winner, I guess. Because we've got another
draw
one this
prompt.
week, haven't we? We ran another one.
Yeah, picture of the week. Gareth, can you just put the bottle up on the screen again? Because that's my proposal for it, but I got told the answer is no to that one, unfortunately. Just for those who haven't already seen it.
Now, the actual picture of the week is in the middle of the stream, which, again, is won by Chips and Davy. He looks like he's very much got the the camera eye for this, and to be fair, it looks really good. The style. I'm guessing this is from commentary, or at least I hope it's from commentary. From qualifying, not commentary. See what my life has done to me. I am now really confused. But let's get rid of that one. A very, very picturesque picture there, Taz. And we're not obviously going to do the £10 giveaway for this every race, but while it's there, guys, take full advantage and see if someone can actually beat Chips and Davey one for once.
Yeah, to be fair, because Pingers in our admin chat did say that Davey was going to win 220 quid over the course of the season. We're like, no, it doesn't work like that. So, yeah, it's one prize at the end of the season. So Davey could win 10 of them and still not win the picture of the season. So just once you're done your race, jump into theatre mode, grab a couple of pictures and send them over to us.
I don't think he's happy about that. Anyway, let's move on.
Greener, do you feel this is rigged? I mean, it's either rigged or not.
Triggered? Maybe he was thinking triggered.
I'm not going to say what it sounds like because that's a whole different set of problems. But F2 time. Let's get in our guess for F2.
Sounds like a plan. And well, F2. If the standings are to be correct, it looks quite picturesque 1 to 4 at the moment.
Yeah.
I believe that is correct. I'm sure our guest will tell us if it is or not. Now, for the first time in season 17, we welcome TES Leclerc to F1XL Extra.
Hello there.
Hello there. Oh God, this is going to go so bad. I need to get the meme up. How are you doing, Jamie? How are you doing?
I'm doing absolutely fine, Gareth. How are you guys doing?
Over the moon. Now, looking at the standings, is that right? Is the first 4 drivers been the same in the first 2 races?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
It is. Yeah, I'm kind of getting sick of being the Arsenal of the league. Can't stop finishing 4th, but yeah, it's been a relatively good start to the season. I can't really complain.
Okay, how were you feeling coming into Baku? Obviously, a street circuit and
yeah. Many people that know me know that I do enjoy a street circuit. I was feeling pretty confident. Obviously I was gunning for pole, but Roll Hard Lad has just found another gear this season. I don't know what he's done differently, but he's absolutely smashing it at the moment. So feeling confident and yeah, can't really complain. Qualified P4. But it's been so close in the first 2 rounds, like during qualifying. I think it's been like a second separating like the top 13. So in theory anyone could get pole position. I don't know if that like makes sense to anyone, but it has been pretty close. So I don't really know what to say other than keep it up, I guess. And roll hard, slow down maybe, but yeah.
I think early season favourites have put BX, Roll Hard, Pear and yourself kind of in the mix for the championship. But there's a real surprise name currently sitting P2, Gamerman Steph. How have you, is that a big surprise to you after last season and him kind of not really challenging for race wins then, but he's really come to his own this season?
It has. He was the troublemaker of last season. Like, I don't mean that in a harsh way. I just mean like pressing A early, not so much reckless. So so it kind of messed people's strategies up sometimes. But yeah, massive shock to me for sure. I don't know if he's watching, so I don't want to like say he was nowhere, but last season he kind of was, and then this season he's just pulled it out of the blocks and he's in the first 2 rounds all guns blazing at the moment, which is good to see because it's just showing that this league's getting quicker every season, and there's nothing better than I've forgotten words. Good. There's nothing better than. Oh no. I'm doing my best, Gareth.
I think you've succeeded me, to be honest, at this rate.
Yeah. There's nothing better to see than across all leagues. No. Ask me something else. I can't.
Okay, cool.
I can't remember. I know what I'm trying to say. Okay, just
Good, because no one else does.
Okay, let's go into Baku in a little bit more detail. Obviously, the top 4
Yes.
was the same top 4 as the week before, by the looks of things. But Jam seems to think not. I don't know what's going on there, but what has the other 3 drivers in front of you at the moment got that you don't? Is it out and out pace, or is it just qualifying starting position and they've just able to keep ahead of you?
honestly, I think race pace wise, we're all pretty similar. I was speaking to Rollhard the other day about it, and it was like, yeah, I kept him honest when it was me and him battling behind a couple of people. But I've always struggled in qualifying. So I think if I can improve and sort my qualifying out, then it'll make things a bit easier, because I think I started 16th in Abu Dhabi. And I don't like that track, but qualifying pace is my main issue. I've always said it, and I'll always admit it. So yeah, if I can sort qualifying out, then it's looking like it's going to be a good season, and hopefully I can challenge for the title. But other than that, I'm not really too sure what else they've got, and I haven't. It's too early in the season to tell at the moment. Yeah, but their qualifying pace just seems to be really good compared to mine. I think that's the main reason. Yeah, like as I said, it has been tight, like across the field. But those 3, FIFA boy as well. I don't know where he's come from. He's qualifying really well. He qualified P2 at Baku, and I think he got pole at Abu Dhabi. He was another one. Did he join last? I think he did. He was another one that was not up to the pace of F2 in season 16, but this season has, like Game of Man Death, come out guns blazing and showing everyone what he's made of.
Nice. Okay, I'll take over.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, okay. So, FIFA Boy, he is new for this season. He was here years ago. I'm talking before you joined the league. And he went to the dark side, so he's finally back on the good side. And it sounds like he's doing alright, to be fair, if that's the case, because he was perennially normally a sort of F3 kind of driver, so the fact that he's doing that up in F2, top end of F2 as well, is really good to hear.
Yeah.
Obviously, we are looking forward to France now. How do you break the top 3? What do you need to do?
Don't break. Well, I don't really know. As I said at the beginning of this quotation marks, interview. Roll Hard Lad has found another gear. I don't know how he isn't in F1, because I genuinely think we've got another map 45 on our hands here. If he just stays out of trouble, and he'll walk away with the championship. And he's a very good qualifier, so I don't know. To break the top 3 at France, I think toe is one of them. If you can get a good toe down the back straight for down the run to that like, flat out right-hander before the long right-hander, I think you'll be able to find a few temps there. But I know we're only going into round 3, but I don't really see anyone else breaking that top 3.
Already at this early stage,
Qualifying wise, no, I don't see it breaking. But obviously, we're only going into round 3. It's a long season, and we don't know what will happen in the races. Anything can happen, and it usually does. I'd like to think round 7 I can break that top 3 because that is my favourite track. But I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say Roll Hard to qualify in the top 2 for the rest of the season.
I think you're insane. That's all I'm going to say on that one. Okay, right, let's talk about you for a minute here, right? So, last season, I think the best way I would put it down to is I think it was a bit of a disappointment for you. I think you seriously underperformed, and it was nowhere near what you should have been doing last season. How do you get over the hill to make sure that the season isn't the same? Because you started off well, a bit like you did last season. So how do you sort of avoid doing the same as what happened last season?
Don't go back to wireless internet. I mean, that's the main thing, really. Many times last season I just couldn't connect to lobbies, and now I've hardwired the Xbox. I haven't lagged out a single lobby, so I think that's the main reason. And motivation, because looking back at last season, there was a point where I was about 50 to 60 points off of the top 5 before Sky retired. And I think that got into my head, just thinking I'm essentially racing. Obviously I was a team owner, so obviously I was racing for the team, but I'm racing to stay 6th, which no one wants to do. You want to be in that top 5 so you can go for the ASR, which fortunately for me I got because Sky retired. But if Sky didn't retire, then I was very close. I'll admit this on stream, I was very close to calling it completely.
Okay.
And just stop racing.
Well, hopefully this season's a little bit better for you, but I think you obviously need to make sure you're in the right space, and the fact that you've maybe you're not a team owner, it probably could be a big help for you.
Yeah, I think I went because I had a season out of team owner, and then decided I wanted to try it again. I think I jumped on it again too quickly. And I don't think I was quite ready, because I had personal / health issues going on at the time as well. So that really didn't help. And thankfully that's all on the mend. And this past year, not just for me but for everyone, definitely hasn't helped. With everyone being stuck indoors, it's played tricks on my mind, just thinking, this, that, and the other. So yeah, I don't think I was in the right headspace last season, and yeah, just I'm in a great team with Williams now. I'm in a great team with Williams now. That's better.
I just wanted, I think, yeah, definitely.
We
I
move.
think
We
you've
move.
got a good team owner there, and someone will definitely help you. I just want to pipe up for a second here. So Greeners has just said, does quitting racing as a bottle job? Well, Greeners, if it was a bottle job, then I would have quit racing when I was finishing behind you. But however, I finished ahead of you in the championship. So let's not get into that conversation. Gareth, do you want to add anything?
Yeah,
Chew the salt, man.
I just wanted to continue on to the whole Williams side of things, and obviously, how is it to obviously not being a team owner, but how is Williams as a team? Is it something you were expecting and from it, and how's the rest of the team?
Oh, the lads have been awesome. Obviously reunited with one of the season 10 champions in F1 XL Pingers. Shout out Pingers. Go on, lad.
Who got a point? on
Yeah,
Sunday?
Arnie's. Yes, get in there, Lewis. Where was I? Yeah, Arnie's a great team owner. This is only his second season, right?
Yes.
As team owner, yeah. So to think he's in his second season as team owner, he's done a mega job. And all the lads in the team are a great help, strategy wise, setup wise. We're always asking if we want to practice. Arnie can't at the moment, but if there's people on, we'll all hop in a lobby together. It's really good mentality in the team, and hopefully it stays like that until the end of the season.
Fair enough. And then what's your... I know you've kind of touched on it, and obviously with your opinion of Roll Hard being going to be a dominant force, but what's your aim for this season? Where do you want to be?
First, that's ultimately why we're all here at the end of the day. If you're in a league and you're not aiming to win, then it's gonna sound harsh, but it's true. What's the point? I've come close to winning a championship in F1 XL a few times, as you know, Gareth, and it does. This is going to sound really pathetic, but it does make you upset. Like, we all do it for the same reason, because we love doing it. More like a throwback chat now. It's like, I remember season 11, and like one of my first few races for Ferrari under Nuthead, my Xbox completely shut off at Monaco. I was leading by 45 seconds. I reconnected the lobby, still 30 seconds ahead. Went to brake, nothing. Slammed into the wall. I actually went off crying. Like, it meant that much to me. It would have been my second win. But yeah, so ultimately it's to win. But as you say, and as I said earlier, Roll Hard is going to be a force to be reckoned with, because the guy is rapid. If people don't know how quick he is, I urge you to watch the F2 streams. He's so fast. His qualifying pace is top notch, and his race pace is top notch as well. BX as well. He just had an unfortunate incident of going on the wrong tyre at the weekend. But there's 3 or 4 guys up there that could genuinely win this championship. Obviously I'd like to include myself into that, but I'm one of those people that prefer to let my results do the talking, if that makes sense. I don't really like to rate myself. Like, it still brings a smile to my face when people say how ridiculously quick I am at Monaco, right? But yeah, back to F2, like, roll hard, lads. If no one can reel him in and knock him down a few places, I think we'll run away with it. I genuinely think that.
Fair enough. I mean,
Yeah, he's just rapid. Not really much else to say for him.
I think we've seen him in the past where people can have a good couple of rounds to initialize with. I mean, look at Davey from, I know it's a different league completely, but Crazy Dave now in F4 last season. He started off to run away with it, but then got reeled back in. So it could be another process here. It could just be that Roll Hard, without a couple of the old F2 guys to slow him down, and he's kind of got away. And you guys now will just up your game to catch him back up. But let's go for predictions. Jamie, who do you reckon for the French Grand Prix?
Ooh. I can only really judge the people I know from last season at France. I think it would be between BX and Roll Hard. But if I was to go out on a limb, I'm going to go with Roll Hard for the win. But I know them two came together last season at France. So, guys, if you're listening, do that. Let someone else have some glory. Spice things up a bit. But yeah, I reckon between BX and Roll Hard, but Roll Hard by 7/10 of a second.
Fair enough. Mr. Tazo, over to you.
Yeah.
I think that was Pear. We'll go with Pear.
Yep. I backed Roll Hard last week and he got me that point.
I tell you what, just because he said in the chat that I'll back him for the title, I'm going to go with I Am the Jam. An old favourite of mine, as lots of you will know. But Jamie, thank you very much for coming on the show. Much appreciated. Have you got any final words for the guys out there?
Keep it up. There's been no reckless driving yet. Fingers crossed. But yeah, it's been incredibly close. If it can be like that all season, then F2 is definitely one to watch. So keep it up, guys.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much, Jamie. Good luck for Sunday and good luck for the season. And take care of yourself.
Thank you very much. Have a good night, guys.
Thank you too.
Now, let's move on to the creme de la creme. Taz, that's another one for a cup, I think. I don't know. What do I do to myself? Anyway, we weren't able to get him on for the podium questions, but we've got him for extra, which is even better. Mr. Tazo, I'll let you just start this one.
I only need to say one thing. Get in there, Swain!
Hey, how's it going?
No. Oh man, yeah, you basically did exactly the opposite of what you did last season. You must have been happy after that race, yeah?
Yes and no. Wasn't having a particularly great day, so it wasn't amazing, but it did feel nice to win, I will be honest.
Okay. Yeah, to be fair, I don't know what you mean in terms of on the best of days. So, but it was good. It was good to see you cross the line and sort of, make up for what was it? You lost by 0.2 of a second last season. You won by 0.2 this season.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, insane. Because I remember last season's one well. I remember watching it back on stream, and it was Meaty, I'm sure it was, that beat you to it last season.
Yeah, it was. And yeah, that was a great race. And it was very weird to be sort of roles reversed this time around.
Yeah, so do you know what? We'll talk through it a little bit. I'll talk through the qualifying because, I know for a fact Gareth will have probably a million and one different things he wants to mention, so
I do.
It's only fair that he does that. You do. I knew you did. So, yeah, qualifying first of all. So where did you end up?
P3, I think it was. Yeah, P3 behind Sloppy and Binary, and I bottled my last lap. But it probably wouldn't have made a difference because those two were lightning.
So what was the gap sort of between you and the top two then?
Oh god, I can't remember. Three,
Don't
4
come
tenths,
back
I think.
until you know.
I think it was about 3 or 4 tenths. I could be
Okay.
wrong.
So it probably would have been maybe a couple of tens in it still. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Were you happy to sort of be as high as that? Were you expecting that? Obviously, after the performance last season, or were you maybe expecting to be a little bit lower? Obviously, with the new and improved pace of the grid.
I was reasonably happy with that. I knew I could make something work from that position, and I think I qualified 5th last year, so it's nice to improve on that. And especially a new starts, they're very. Sometimes it's very tricky to get a good start in this game, I find. Sometimes you can have bad ones, sometimes you can have good ones, so it could have been anything going into that first corner from that position.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, I'm going to let him take over because he's chomping at the bit. I can hear him. I don't even need to, you know what I mean? He's quiet, but I can hear him. I can hear him ready to pounce. So, Gareth, take it away.
Oh yes, no, action started straight away. I don't know if you noticed or if it came up for you at all, but the lights for the commentators went out very quickly. Like it went to 5 reds, and then it was racing straight, like pretty much straight. It caught Binary out. Did it catch you out, or were you like, because Sloppy was able to take the lead quite early on, and then those two battled for a bit, but. I mean, did you lost a bit of a position at the start as well, didn't you?
No, I was P3, I think. Because I don't know whether it was how quick they went out that caught Binary out or not. But I think Sloppy got the best start, which allowed him to get Binary into turn 1, and then I got alongside Binary going into turn 1. But he placed his car perfectly, pushed me onto the curb. So I couldn't get a good exit, and I settled back into 3rd place. No,
that's what it was. I remember a positional change, but yeah, Binary having a bit of a slow start. Did that catch you off that he had a slow start at all?
Yeah, it did a bit. Like I said earlier, anything could have happened into that turn 1, so I wasn't expecting Binary to get a bad start, but I was hoping he would get a bad start. So yeah, it was unfortunately I couldn't make anything more of it. But yeah, it was interesting.
So Binary then eventually got through Sloppy and started to build out a gap. How did you think at that point? Did you think Binary's gonna run away with this?
I wasn't thinking Binary was going to run away with it. At that point, I was just solely focused on getting past Sloppy. And then once I got past Sloppy, I'd then focus on Binary and see what was going on. I did notice he was pulling a bit of a gap, so I thought, okay, I need to get past Sloppy sooner rather than later. But at that point, I wasn't thinking about that because, well, like we did see, anything could happen, and the safety car did come out.
Brings me to my next question. Obviously, Binary come in, and he was planning on a 2-stop strategy, while I think he was banking on everyone else to do a 1-stopper, and he came out, got through some of this, and then you and Sloppy came into the pits and everyone around you and got caught in traffic. Now, this is before the safety car, and for those of you out there that don't know, I'm telling Swain how to suck eggs right now. Yeah, he was there. But, I mean, at that point, was there any, I don't want to say panic setting in for you. You forced a move, an actual really good move, and unfortunately, I wanted to save it on this because we caught it on stream, and it was a really good move, only to be outdone by Sloppy himself. But did all that going on? did you think, oh, I've got to get through them quickly? And was there any panic, or was it just you taking your time?
Yeah, what was it? Yeah, Binary and Sloppy pitted on like lap 6 or 7, whichever one it was, and I always thought I wanted to extend my first stint to have the better tyres at the end. Looking back on it, I should have extended 2 more laps because I only extended by 1 lap and I got held by about 2-3 seconds in the pits. So I came back out behind Sloppy, and then yeah, when I saw how much further ahead Binary was, that's when the alarm bell started to ring. I thought, okay, that's going to be a bit difficult to reel him back in after that. I didn't know he was on the mediums though, and that he was planning a 2-stop. So it was a bit difficult because part of me wanted to push and try and make something happen and make moves. The other part of me was like, there's going to be a huge DRS train now. So it could pay off to be patient and then see if anybody else tries to make moves, and if there's mistakes, I can capitalize on that. And that's exactly what happened. I think Sloppy was racing pingers. He got side by side into turn 1. So, hey, this could get interesting. Then he went side by side into turn 2 again. I think you might have to ask him, but I think Sloppy got caught out where when you're racing side by side with a car like that, you're relying a lot on your muscle memory, on your throttle and your brake inputs because you're concentrating on where the other car is. And I think Sloppy got caught out having recently transitioned to no traction. I think his muscle memory kicked in and he put too much throttle down, and I saw he got a bit squirmy out of the second turn. So he dropped behind pingers, and then he came back over into the racing line. I wasn't sure whether that was just so he could get the toe of pingers or whether he was trying to block me off from going on the outside. So I switched to the inside, and luckily I had enough ERS saved up so I could get past him into turn 3.
And then all people started to pit, and then all hell broke loose. That safety car came out, and effectively, even at this point, you were the leader of the race, even though there's a few cars ahead of you, but they hadn't pitted. It caused a catalyst event, I guess you could call it, and people were pitting. Binary had to pit again because his mediums were no way going to take, or the mediums he was on was not going to take him to the end. And then he pitted for another set of mediums. But were you, obviously we've spoken since, but you were, with a few things last year, you had a few tyre choices or decisions from safety car which didn't work for you, but then ultimately you had some that did work for you. Russia, sticking to the front of my head that it did work, but then I think it was, oh god, my brain.
USA was the worst one.
Yeah, USA was the other. So you've got two.
Oh, dreadful.
One that got you a win and one that got you no points. But what was your thoughts? Were you thinking, oh god, I need to pit, or did you just think, yeah, I've got to stick with it?
Oh god, summed it up pretty well. Well, yeah, because my my strategy decisions haven't been the best sometimes. So when I first came, I was like, oh god, what do I do? And I eventually settled on not pitting, so I thought if I pit, there's gonna be people behind me that don't pit, and I think I was like 6th or 7th at that point. So if I pitted, I reckon I probably would have came out like 9th or 10th probably. And I was like, yeah, there's no way I'm winning the race if I'm coming out 9th or 10th, especially the DRS train is Baku. So I thought I'm just gonna have to stay out and see what happens. Stayed out, saw Binary pitted, and like I said, I didn't know he was doing 2-stop. So when I saw he pitted and came out on mediums, I was like, okay, interesting. He could probably make it to the end from there, but I think he was 4th he came out. I thought if for like a couple laps after the safety car, Binary sticks in like P4, P3, there could be a chance here where the overlap of the medium tyres wearing out hits where the wear is on the hard tyres. And I thought those couple laps will be crucial to deciding whether Binary could win this race or not.
Now, I'm going to talk on a controversial subject. I know Haas are not happy with this, but For the majority of it, you had the measure on everyone. There was a massive train, but the lines you took in that last sector to give you that extra gap over everyone else is second to none. It was beautiful to see. Like, it was one of the... I can understand why people like this track, because when someone like you does what they did, this race is... Honestly, people need to watch the... Ollie and I were just in awe of how you were able just to keep ahead of it. And that, every lap, you were just like, oh God, is he going to do it? He's done it again. It was like, I'm bigging you up to be absolutely incredible here. So I am sorry. But
You're a pedestal for me.
I'm your number one fan right now. I'm bowing to a shrine of you. It's no, it's not that bad yet.
Jesus Christ.
But... yeah, there was, I think it was lap 15, maybe 16. Binary finally has a good run on Sloppy. But, like, do you remember that incident? Because it's obviously come in as a ticket now, and the ticket team have...
Where's the ticket?
Yeah, so Binary's gone to the inside of Sloppy into turn 1 and nearly tags you.
Right.
But... kind of outbreaks himself and forces Sloppy out wide, even though he's still around the outside of him. But Sloppy then retakes him, but off the track. The ticket team have given him a 5-second penalty, which puts him behind Binary in the race. But you can look at that thing later. Do you like have any recollection of Binary getting close to your back end?
That's interesting. I didn't know there was a ticket or an outcome about that. That's interesting. In my opinion, that's a racing incident, because I think Binary on his mediums, he's able to brake a lot later, and I wasn't expecting. I saw Binary and Sloppy going side by side, and I definitely wasn't expecting the car to come down my inside going into turn 1. So when I turned in and saw 3 red arrows, I was like, oh, I should probably give whatever car's there some space. So I think, and as well, Binary didn't expect to go down my inside, or maybe he did. I don't know. So I think he got caught out, took quite a sharp line, not expecting me to give him any space, I'd imagine. So I remember seeing the red arrows and turning out, and I didn't know whether I had turned out enough and whether a Binary had hit the inside wall or not and lost some front wing. So I was really hoping that I hadn't turned in on him and he had lost some end plates or something. Yeah, you also touched on that line I had for the second to last corner. That is a disgusting line to take for that corner. It should not be a thing, because you are completely cutting the curb. But for God knows whatever reason, Cody's track limits thing allows you to do it. And I watched some onboard laps of people on YouTube, and I saw people taking that line. And I tried it a couple times in time trial, and it's a very difficult line to pull off, because if you go too much over the curb and you get a penalty, if you don't do enough, then it bounces you across into the wall. And I'd practiced it and I couldn't quite get it right. And then I did a practice session with Viper on the Saturday, I think it was. And he was like, oh yeah, you need to take that line across there. So then from there on out, I was practicing it and managed to get it down.
Fair enough. No, that's fine. And then obviously, you're using the esports line, I should say, and you're using it to good advantage, because there was points in that race where you were taking lines that other people weren't, and I think that's where at this track you had the advantage. Whether it will go across into the others, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, it was a great race to watch. I mean, I know you said you didn't have a great day that day, and you did come away feeling good. Like, looking back at that, would you have changed anything from that, or was that just...
No, I got really lucky with a safety car. That's one of the big things. If that safety car didn't come out, I wasn't winning that race, probably. It would have been interesting to see where Binary would have came out after his second stop. But that safety car definitely made it a hell of a lot easier for me to win that race. And I didn't. Well, I don't want to say I didn't drive well. There were definitely things I could have improved on in that race. So, I mean, if you win, you can't really complain too much. So there probably isn't a lot I would have changed.
Fair enough. Let's move on then. Obviously, France next, where you took, I believe, your first victory in F1 in season 16. Because it was round 3.
I think so.
And it was round 3 this time, wasn't it? Yeah, it's both on round 3. Anyway, enough about that. And you took victory away from Viper by him getting a penalty. I mean, that was last season. What are your thoughts into this season and into France?
Well, I can tell you, Viper is very much looking to get revenge for that this season. So it'll be interesting. And I love France. It's an incredible track to drive on a wheel. You can just do lap after lap after lap, and it's so much fun. It's looking like it could be split strategy. So there definitely will be some overtaking in the race, hopefully. So it should be a good one.
Fair enough. And before I ask predictions, do you think Light Shock? I mean, obviously a major rival to you last season. He's not had it all his way. He finished third behind you in Abu Dhabi the week before last, and then obviously had a poor run at Baku. I think he's the most unluckiest person at the Baku track, to be perfectly honest, from what I've seen. But what do you reckon for him this week?
Well, it's only been 2 races, so there's still 18, 20 races. I don't know how many there is left to go. So anything can happen. And I think Abu Dhabi, I think he actually drove really well. He didn't make any mistakes I saw. It was just one strategy call that unfortunately didn't go his way, which just happens sometimes. I know that better than anybody. But yeah, so I'm fully expecting, definitely around France. I think around France, he was quite quick last season as well. But I think there was an incident that wasn't his fault, if I remember. I can't remember particularly well. So yeah, expect him to be up there. Sloppy is the kid's found another gear this season. He's incredible. He's a lot better than I was at his age. So the sky is the limit for him. God knows what it'll be like come the end of the season. And then Binary as well will be looking to get his championship back on track. So it should be a good one.
All right, Mr. Tazo, have you got anything for Swain?
No.
Don't blame him.
I've been bending your ear for the last 20 minutes, Matt. I am sorry, but have you got any? What's your prediction for this week?
Oh God. Well, what I will say is Viper is racing, so everybody can now sweat, and hopefully we don't embarrass ourselves too much come Sunday.
No repeat of Abu Dhabi where we pissed 4 laps to go.
Yeah, exactly. If it's wet, I'm not a betting man, but I would put money on Viper winning. That the guy's a wet weather merchant. It's ridiculous. If it's dry, it will be very interesting because I think out and out pace, Viper will definitely be the quickest, but with the strategies that people will be running on Sunday, there's a lot of room for factors out of people's control that can put their races upside down. So it really will be an interesting one. But I think you would be crazy to bet against Viper. So I'll probably still go Viper.
Mr. T.
Oh yeah, I have to be second and third, don't I?
You don't have to. You're more than welcome to.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, we'll keep it at that then.
Did you say that you'd be crazy to bet against Viper?
You're crazy, aren't you?
Call me crazy, Master Swain, back-to-back winner.
Oh God, okay.
I
No pressure.
predicted you last week, and guess what? It worked. Just saying. Gareth didn't predict you. I just want to make that clear. Gareth didn't think you could win last week.
I don't think that it's. I think it's more that he didn't want to like show his bias too much towards.
Like, he actually physically said to me off stream, it's like Swain is far too slow to win at France.
France.
Baku.
Oh.
Whatever track. To be fair, you did say to me that that you didn't think Swain could win in France either, or Russia. But I'm not putting words in your mouth or anything like that.
Neither did I, to be honest.
You predict who you want to predict, Gareth. I'm not gonna,
It's a really difficult because Viper's Viper at the end of the day. He is very, very quick. But Swain, I saw you race in that race last night, at the Italian thing that Viper does, and you were incredibly quick there. And even with a different strategy, you managed to cause a lot of problems for those guys. And I think a little bit of unlucky with traffic caused you to finish, a lowly 6th, or was it 5th because of the penalty?
It was 5th after the penalty.
Yeah. So it's I wouldn't count you out, but I think I would just pit Viper for the moment. Viper's got it on you at the moment, but I don't think it'll be long before you overtake that man.
I love how you were trying your best not to like upset me. Like it's not playing. The Viper is like so much faster than what I am.
It's because of what I said. That's why.
Yeah,
I
think I've made my position on trying to be unbiased, but then when it gets to that, it's just like, yeah, no. I don't mean it, but obviously, we've been friends for a long, long time, and to see you do so well is really nice, and
Cheers.
And to be perfectly honest, you're one of the nicest people on the grid. I don't think anyone hates
I'll
you
be
at all.
a
even with you setting off into the sunset distance, taking those victories. It's really hard not to root for you, and I think you've
Can
got
I
a little bit
just
of a
interject
cult
with one
following.
thing here
Yeah.
very quickly? Ha!
Yeah, sorry, Stacey. Anyway, but obviously I do try my best. I'd say I try my best. I do my best throughout. Actually, I just realised Renault is Team Matt, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah, in League One. Yeah.
Yeah, to be fair, Gareth, if you don't have the title of your stream this weekend as Matt to Life, Matt to Reality, I'm going to be quite disappointed in you. But I think that's a good point to end the stream for tonight anyway, do you not?
Yeah, I mean, we've actually, considering we've lost the league, we've gone longer than we usually do.
I'm not going to blame anybody, but I blame Leclerc and you.
You can,
Simple.
no, it's just I was trying to add simp into it because Noodle has just said Gareth stop simping for Swain.
Oh god, don't say that. Twitch will ban you.
Oh dear.
But before we go, can I say one thing?
I was just about to say, have you got any final words?
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Have you got any final words?
Yes. Everybody is going to hate me for saying this. But on Saturday, 27th, it's Taz's birthday. Make sure you wish him a happy birthday.
Fuck you, Swain.
What a way to... That is the perfect way to end the stream. Thank you very much, Swain Matt. Wow. Much appreciated. Thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been great.
Right.
Always...
Kick from party.
Always great to have you here. And I guess we're going to go raid someone now because I'm a nice guy like that. Big Will is streaming, so please go and...
Or you could give it a couple of minutes and come onto my stream, whatever I'm going to stream, because I don't even know yet. But hey, that's the joy of life.
Well, you've got the option there. I'm going to immediately raid Big Will. If you want to then jump to Taz afterwards, you're more than welcome. But yeah, good luck, everybody, and for Sunday's race. And we'll see you very soon.